BookTube! Welcome to Jackie's Reading Corner, and I am finally back from Florida. So, I wanted to show you guys what I got there in Harry Potter World, to be more specific, and then I did get these lovely ears from Disney Springs, which is basically shopping and eating. In case you haven't been, it's really fun. A lot of walking around. It's like an outlet mall for Disney. Although it doesn't just have Disney, but it's Disney Springs, so it's for Disney, but it's not just Disney stuff. So I wanted to get some ears because I used to when I was little. My mom had my parents. Well, I don't know if it was my mom that bought it, but I did have these ears that were like the hats with the ears on top of the hat. Those I guess they were like foam or plastic or something. It was easily to fall apart and bendable and stuff. So, and I really liked these because they were all like Day of Dead kind of style, like Mexican Halloween. I think that's Mexican, at least according to Miranda on Lizzie McGuire. And I also liked the purple, orange, yellow. I mean, I guess I could have got the more Minnie Mouse related ones or Mickey related ones, but I like these best. So, and I mean, it's not like I'm gonna wear them. Like I'll probably only. I mean, I'm not gonna really wear them that much. I mean, like maybe for like this time of year. But anyway, also because I forgot to bring a bag with me to the park so I could have something to hold my stuff. So my mom and we took a trip to Walmart there and picked me up these little. And that's why I was thinking about the Minnie Mouse ears. So this is just to hold stuff, and then I got this little drawstring bag, which brings me to one of my first points for today's video, that I would recommend bringing something like this with you, especially if you're going and you're not with your parents, you're just going with your friends. Then bring a bag with you, like something, although now these bags, they're not like, some items that you buy might not be up to, like, they can still fit in there, but you won't be able to stick out of the bag. Like one of the items I bought that today at the park at actually Harry Potter, I'm sure you guys would know which item I'm talking about, was sticking out. So I ended up actually holding the bag in the front of me because I was very paranoid that someone would try to steal it, because I mean it's nice. It's a nice thing. And also, I actually lost my phone. I lost my phone on a ride. Actually, not at Harry Potter's Wizarding World, but when I went to Epcot, for like, not the first time, because I went when I was my parents took my sister and I when we were real little, but I didn't remember it, so they were like, you know what, let's go ahead and get a ticket and go to Epcot, it's real, and if you haven't been Epcot, although I'm sure most people probably know what's in Epcot, like the famous golf ball ride, for instance, but it's basically, there are rides in the park, mostly simulation, and the one thrill ride is actually the one where I lost my phone, because I brought these khakis that I wear at work sometimes, and the pockets on the sides aren't very good. They're like those pockets that are kind of angled like this, or well, I guess if going this way, well, so things can still slip out if you're not careful. So I have my phone in there, and so let me tell you about the ride, okay? If you never heard of Test Track, that's what it is. It's basically you get to design a car, which is really cool, and then you get to go on the vehicle is car shaped, and you test it. You get to test, see how it stands against all different kinds of conditions, like bad weather, crashing into another vehicle, stuff like that. So you get to, and you're in the vehicle ride and testing this car. It's pretty rough. And then the last test is at the end where you're actually on a track or roller coaster track, and you speed around like the Indy 500, and that's how, and they test you on that. And that's the last test. So that's the part that's kind of more of a roller coaster. Although it gets pretty rough. You get jerked around and ramming, like you're hydroplaning and all that kind of stuff. So that's when I lost my phone. But I mean, the good news is that I lost it in the actual vehicle, because I mean, there's a bottom, so you're not dangling or anything, not like those other seats. You're like in a car. So the good news is it couldn't have fallen out on the test track. It fell out in the car. So I got it back, but my phone was actually starting to, it was getting really old, and I kept getting in these texts from my phone company that it's time to upgrade your phone. You can get 25% off for if you upgrade today to the new S11 phone or whatever. So my mom was, because it cost money, she was, saying, like, insisting, that I should wait before I buy a new phone for how long but my phone was dying, the battery would be dying really quickly. And that's what happened to my mom's iPad, because so finally, because my friend and I were going to be off by ourselves on Friday at the Harry Potter World, she was like, you know what, if there's an Apple store here, we'll go and get you a new phone. Besides the fact that, also, like, it's kind of, I'm sure a lot of people notice that it's probably better to buy a new phone outside of your state. Oh wait, no, actually, no, it wasn't, scratch that. Actually, no, the problem for us was because we didn't have an Apple store close by us. So it's not because of that, it's actually because we don't have an Apple store, and we have to drive out an hour away to go to find an Apple store. So never mind, it's not like it's better to buy a phone outside of your state. But here's my new phone. Unfortunately, they were limited on color, so I got the red one. I like the red one the best. It was not the color I wanted. I wanted actually either the yellow case or a dark green case, or like a salmon color case. So this was the next best option that they didn't have. Apparently now today phones have 3 cameras here now, which is kind of cool. Although I wouldn't know how to use it. But anyway, it's actually the same kind of phone that my mom had, but I went with gold instead. Although you can't really see the gold, you can see it here, but you can't see it because it has a protective case on it. Because I'm the one who's most likely going to drop it. Like, I dropped a phone in the toilet when I did my government internship. But I know why I did it is because, again, another loose pocket situation. Because I was wearing I had like a rain jacket, that a short one that the really wide pockets. So my phone fell out when I was in the bathroom. I'm not going to respond to you, Terry, until after I'm done filming. So those are really. So I didn't really buy anything at the only thing I really bought when I was at I didn't buy anything at Epcot. We just got food because Epcot, like I said, it has rides, but it also has rides like soaring, where you're in the hang glider and has the Mission Space ride, and then it has, I keep forgetting what's in the golf ball. The ride that's in the golf ball. For some reason, I can't remember what it is. So I feel really bad. I mean, it was the first ride we went on. I'm sure you guys know what's the golf ball ride. But we went on that one. And I was kind of nervous because I'm the type of person who, I've done roller coasters. I like roller coasters now, but I still get very anxious and nervous and start freaking out before I go on if I've never been on the roller coaster before. Or if it's been a long, long time since I've ridden that one, because, I freaked out I still got a little panicky with Thunder Mountain in Magic Kingdom, thinking about going on there, because I loved it when I went on there the one time, but thinking about anticipating it, your adrenaline's running, you're like, either, it's a mixture of excitement and nerves, because stuff can happen. I mean, I know roller coasters are mostly safe, but it doesn't help though that I've been watching a lot of videos on things that happen in theme parks. Like, although truth be told, I mean, if something happens to you on the roller coaster, and this may sound heartless, but it's probably your own fault if something happened. If something happened to someone on a roller coaster because they didn't follow the rules. Because, I mean, now there is the possibility that these people just weren't good at making sure the ride, the seatbelts and stuff, aren't secure. That there is that possibility that could be the case too. But if the park has been around for a long time now, in most cases, it's probably because people were dumb and thought that they could get away with, like, standing up or not using the buckle, or, the kids, or unless it's like a little kid just doesn't always know better. Or, of course, let's just hope that doesn't happen. I mean, I think that when I think about that stuff, it's even more traumatizing to think about, like, something happening to a little kid on a ride, like, getting their head chopped off or falling through the air out of the ride. It's even more traumatizing because I have cousins, and I have cousins that are much younger than me, but it wasn't I didn't think about it, but now as an aunt, even though I'm not a parent, I'm just an aunt, but I think because I'm now an aunt, I think about it more, and it terrifies me even more. Like, even though I don't always pay attention sometimes when I'm, helping kind of with the wrangling Jesse's little boys, it's still, I do think about that stuff. Okay, so, on to the stuff that I got. Okay, so, we went to, okay, well, I'll get to that in a minute. Let me just, so, the first step we made, so I did not have a Ravenclaw shirt, like, t-shirt, sweatshirt, long sleeve or sweater or anything like that. I didn't have any of that stuff. So I decided I wanted to get one for my Hogwarts house. And I decided to get the sweatshirt. Now, first I have so many t-shirts, so that's why I chose the sweatshirt instead of the t-shirt. Now here's the funny story about that. So we were in the park, we went to the stores to look around and stuff. And I saw the one I liked, and I put it on the normal size I picked, which is like either a medium and a large, and it was actually really snug on me. So I realized, and so my friend Terry was with me. Terry went with me. She lives in Florida, so she was like, "Oh, maybe you need the extra large." So what we didn't realize, what I didn't think about, was that those were kid-size sweatshirts. And the only reason I picked is because I liked the style of the sweatshirt, like the design and everything, the image and everything. So I decided to go in and buy it anyway. And of course my mom was like, "Oh no, you spent $45, you're not going to walk around looking like you're in a giant, cast." It was still pretty snug. I mean, the extra large fit better, but it was still pretty snug. And of course, me being stubborn and inexperienced, I was like, "Oh, it still fits me though. It's loose and everything," and I liked how it looked and everything. So, but she's like, "You spent all that money. You're gonna get one that actually fits." So they went to City Walk. Unfortunately, they still have to pay to park, which is really annoying. Which is my first piece of advice, is that you're going to be spending a lot of money at these parks. So I might want to recommend, of course, this is probably common sense for most people anyway, so I'm probably just the naive idiot, but if you're gonna, instead, buy the stuff ahead of time. Buy it online. I wasn't gonna buy a Hogwarts school robe, because, the only time I'm gonna wear it is, I go to conventions once a year. I'm not one of those people who goes to a bunch of conventions every year, because I can't afford to do that. And I think I'm amazed at people that aren't able to do that, so I can't do that. And then there's Halloween, potentially. But other than that, and if I could wear it going to, like, if I go to this park again, which will happen, which won't, like, may happen every, like, a 10 years or so, I might go. 10 to 5 years. I mean, maybe, I'm hoping that I can live vicariously through my nephews when they're finally old enough to where my sister is willing to spend the money and go with them and then ride the rides with them. Of course, I will definitely have to toughen up then because I don't want to embarrass myself. I mean, I already worry about embarrassing myself in front of, like, my friends about being a chicken about rides sometimes. Well, half the time, really. So I definitely don't want to show that I can be a bit of a chicken when it comes to rides in front of my nephews when they're old enough. So I might live through. Of course, it might be one of these things where my mom is, where they're like, we want to go just as our little family unit, which I'll be sad, but I'll understand if they don't want to, bring us along as well. I mean, who knows what the future may hold. So, but my mom went up back, so she got me this one, this adult size, and I think I did see this one. So, back to the back to the money thing. So you're gonna be spending a lot. So, okay, rewind. So it's time in the Hogwarts robes. Okay, at the park, they're over $100. They're like $125 for the Hogwarts robes that you might wear once in a while. I mean, you might even wear for, like, a video if you make videos. But it's so it's not really, I didn't plan on buying one. I mean, I thought about it for like a second and was like, that's not worth it. So if you're gonna get one, because they are nice and it is cool to have one, but just get it at this online. I mean, like, we have Amazon Prime, so it's like, so that's where I usually go when I want to check if something's cheaper online. So I went, and it's like $99. So it's like cheap, very cheap, a lot cheaper online, like at least on Amazon, to go ahead and buy and I imagine this is probably a little cheaper too online. Although, actually, no, this was the adult size was more expensive than the kids one that I got. But anyway, it's still nice, and I can't wait for it to finally cool off. But apparently, I come back and it's still like 60s and 70s. I mean, I can live with the 60s, but I want to be able to wear stuff like this. So hopefully by November we'll start to get cool. We'll start to cool off. Of course, when it gets cold, freezing cold, I'll be like, okay, when is it gonna get hot again? That's how I am. Like, it gets extremely hot, and I get, after a while, I'm like, okay, when is it gonna cool off again? And then when it gets extremely cold, it's like, okay, when's it gonna get hot again? Because I can't handle extreme weather. So, the other thing about clothing wise is these. So, I had some Ravenclaw footy socks that I bought from Kohl's. Not just Ravenclaw, it had all the Hogwarts houses, and then had Harry's Patronus on one pair of socks. And I'm like, in fact, I'm wearing. Oh, I was. Oh, and I was wearing the Beauty and the Beast ones anyway. But my mom did say, like, so it turns out I lost them. I don't know if I lost them at my sister's house or if they're in one of my bags or something, but my mom was like, so my mom finally was like, okay, let's go online and check. And then I told her I think I got it from Kohl's, so I think she would rather do that first. But the only problem with that is that it has become in a packaging of all the Hogwarts houses, and I just need one Hogwarts house socks. And I did like the ones I saw on Amazon, which were nice. But I ended up getting these. I didn't see any footy socks. These were the first ones I saw. And I will admit, these are, although these might be better, the material, because this part is only on the knee, so it might not irritate as much. But that's my only problem with knee-high socks, is that they make you itch. But I saw these, and I guess you can't have these in footy socks format, because these are like the scarves. I think what I'm gonna do is for Christmas for my friend, for Terry, I'm gonna see if I can find some Hufflepuff gear for her. Because although she took the quiz on Pottermore and it did say Gryffindor, but I don't know, her personality more fits Hufflepuff to me. It's just her personality, her kindness, her non-judgmental way of thinking about people. She's a very loyal person, very kind. I can't think of the other Hufflepuff traits, but her personality fits Hufflepuff more than Gryffindor. But then I feel like with people though, it's kind of, you can't really classify anyone in one specific Hogwarts house because everybody kind of represents bits and pieces of each Hogwarts house. Everybody's ambitious. Everybody can be brave. Everybody can be very wise and studious, and everybody can be kind and non-judgmental. And I mean, there are some people that do seem more fit to a certain house. And I do like when I try to place other characters from different shows into the Hogwarts house. It's like Terry was saying which will wear what each of the Lord of the Rings characters, and I don't know if I was right in where I think each of them would be placed. But yeah, we were thinking about that, and even then, there were some of them that were a little tricky to place. And I thought about like other characters, like the characters on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, characters on I'm trying to think of what else, but yeah, so. But yeah, I guess because this is the scarf, the design is the scarf, so it wouldn't work with a footy sock. So, and it could potentially work with a regular length sock, but I think this is probably, they probably saw this as the best design. My only issue is I always try to look for the original colors that were described, because I remember people saying that bronze and blue were the I remember bronze and blue was the actual colors for Ravenclaw, but I guess it was maybe a little too close to gold or something. I can't remember. They gave a reason. I think that's the reason. It was a little too close. Bronze is a little too close to the gold color, so it didn't work for that. So, and then we went to, so we finally got to, okay, so you don't have to take the train there on the Hogwarts Express, but it is kind of fun, and it's for like at least you got to, at least your first time you go to the Hogwarts Wizarding World parks, take the train. Oh, and get the park hopper ticket. Because they will make it that way. It'll be easier for you to go to both parks, and you can go back and forth between the two parks. Which brings me to another piece of advice: time your visit, because there's so much to look at both parks. And mine and Terry's problem, and it's mostly my fault, I feel like, because she was trying to get me, was thinking, oh, we should probably go, and I was like, oh no, I want to look at this shop and look at this shop. But like, I tried to look at as many of the shops as I could. So, oh, Celestine Warbeck, that's the singer's name. I was trying to think of, because Terry had posted the pictures on Facebook. So I'm gonna post the those particular pictures on Instagram, since she doesn't have an Instagram. Because my mom and sister are always like, oh, don't post the same picture more than, if I've already posted it, you don't need to post it. Although a lot of times you have different friends and stuff, but, and family members that fall, family members, family members, you'll have the same family members, but friends will be a little different. Although I mostly have a lot of my sister's friends on my Instagram account. But anyway, so now, like, since Jerry's already posted, I probably won't post it. But anyway, I was trying to think of the name of the singer in the Wizarding World, and and I remember it was Celestina Warbeck. I think, but that was her name, Warbeck. Her last name was Warbeck, I think. So I was trying to remember when it was, so I could put on the in the comment section on the picture because I can't because they're her posts, so I can't edit her post, but I could put in the comment section the name of the singer. But anyway, and Terry, she's not as big a fan of Harry Potter. She's seen the movies, but she's not as huge of a fan, so she wasn't as adamant about wasting her money on stuff, on stuff at the parks. But she wouldn't necessarily know the whole all the little details and stuff about the park. About the Wizarding World. So anyway, we ended up. So timing is key. You want to go catch the train, at a certain, you want to get to the other park at a certain time so you don't miss anything. Because unfortunately, we had to leave. We kind of, we still had to get something to eat, which we need to this. So this is just plastic and nothing special, but I decided to keep it as a souvenir because it has the Harry Potter logo on it. Harry Potter Wizarding World logo. But anyway, so we really only got to do 2 rides, and the other thing that makes it such a, unless you count the train as a ride, so you want to, if you want to get in, especially because some of the rides there they have now, at, not Diagon Alley, Diagon Alley only has 1 ride, that's the Escape from Gringotts ride, which you definitely need to do. That was really fun. Although it's a lot more of stopping. So there's not as many the rides for if you those rough jerking you around and stuff and sudden drops and all that and just like a regular roller coaster. It's still a cool fun ride, but it doesn't have as much of that. It's more of you're on the ride, you're going through stuff, but then there's a lot of you're stopping, and then you're trying to you're being followed around by Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange throughout the ride. But it's still really cool. I definitely recommend trying it out. But and like I said, try the train. At least try it once because especially for little kids, it's really fun. It's you're on a train, although before you get on the train, it's like a train station. It's really long. It's a long line to go through, at least in our experience. But there are places where you can kind of sit. There's ledges where there's a bunch of suitcases laying around, so you can sit on those ledges if you need to sit down. And so, which brings me to that you definitely want to try to get an express pass or a fast pass for the parks, because then you'll get through the park really fast. You'll get through the lines rather quickly, which is nice. And okay, this is gonna sound mean, but I feel like it's true that if you have someone an elderly relative with you, or someone that needs a wheelchair, that helps too. This may sound mean or whatever, but I'm not trying to take advantage of those people that, but it does help get through lines faster because they made accommodations for people that are handicapped. And no, I don't know although the whole going faster in that case it wouldn't work, but you do they will allow you to take the elevator up to the top instead of having to climb the stairs. And also they do have it where which you can learn this online, that it is kind of set up to where it looks like you're disappearing through the platform. From where I was standing, I couldn't really see to the point where it looked like people were disappearing. But the way it's set up, it looks, I guess, to people outside and looking in from afar, it does look like you're disappearing through the platform. But yeah, you're sitting in a small compartment. It's small. It's not as big as the compartments in the actual in the actual train in the park. But you're in this compartment with a bunch of seat for a bunch of passengers, and you're like, you have the window, and on the window it looks like you're looking out to the English countryside, and they will have like thunderstorms. You'll get to you see Hagrid, and Hagrid appears at one point flying his motorbike, or technically Sirius's motorbike. And then you have, and on the other side, if you look in the window part of the door to the compartment, there's at one point where you can hear Hermione, Harry, and Ron and the Trolley Witch talking and interacting and stuff, which is really cool. So I definitely recommend it for kids, but you could skip it, but definitely, at least for the first time, try it. And for the first time, you gotta try. I mean, it's not that long of a ride. It's, it's just like, and plus, if you don't want to walk anymore, it's a good chance to, rest for a minute. But I understand where if you just want to walk, or you're running late or something, you need to get to the other park at a certain point for a certain thing, then yeah, you don't have to. And also, another thing you don't have to do, but it's part of the experience, makes it fun, is that you can get wizard money. You can go, there's a money exchange next to the Gringotts building, where there's a goblin in there that I think you can ask him questions, and he'll respond. And like he'll look at you and stuff like that. We didn't do that though, and no one that was in there when we were in there did that either. But if you're concerned, you can exchange. If you have money left over, you can exchange it back to regular money, of course, regular Muggle money. But again, it's probably a common sense thing. And because I just worry about every little thing, with that kind of stuff. And now, unfortunately, and they also suggest that if you want to, you can keep some of the wizarding money as a souvenir. But I was a little disappointed because I did end up spending it all, and I didn't get any change back because they didn't have any wizarding money in change to give, so I didn't get it. I didn't have any souvenir money, but I still have the envelope around here somewhere. Well, I think that's on the bed. But I did keep the envelope, because it was I didn't have any of the souvenir money, so I just keep the envelope. So you definitely, and also on the rides they do have lockers. You either use your ticket or pass or whatever to get into the park, to get the Universal ticket, or you can use in the other, at Hogsmeade, where the castle and stuff, you use your finger or your thumb to get into the locker. So I don't think you have to worry about anyone stealing your stuff, because they can't steal it. They can't get into the lockers unless they had your fingerprints or they had your pass, they had your ticket. So just keep that close, and keep the ticket with you. Put it in your pocket or something, because then if you did what I did and were dumb and put your key in the bag you put in your locker, then you have to ask someone, which I had to do. I mean, the only reason to be fair though, the only reason why I made that mistake is because I thought I could just take my other bag would be safe, my smaller bag. But the woman, when we got into the line, the woman was like, "No, you need to put that in the locker too." Which I guess, yeah, I could still, although it could go over my head and my arm. But anyway. So they do have lockers for all the rides. Now I think they do tell you, I didn't remember, I think that they said you couldn't put all your stuff in there, because these lockers they're small. They're this size. They're not very wide, but they're not very tall, but they are wide. And then the other thing is, I can't remember what the other thing was. I can't remember. So, anyway, so we only did, so, like I said, there are certain times when they do the wand ceremony. I didn't get the chance to do that, but I did get my wand. So, and the wands are $50 to $55, just to warn you. So, just to warn parents or kids, And all their wands are interactive. You can and they have it where you can either get a character wand, or if you already did if you know what your wand is on Pottermore, what wand you got, then you can get your wand, because they have like a little sign on the wall that where you look for what your wand would look like. Like if it's I have my wand is Hazelwood, so I was able to get the signed up getting the Hazelwood wand, and all the wands I think are interactive. I think. And I ended up getting my own wand because I was trying to I wouldn't be able to decide, because part of me wanted to get, I should get Luna's wand because she's a Ravenclaw, but then I was like, but I want to get like Hermione's wand and Harry's wand and all that, and I could only afford to get one wand. So I ended up just getting the wand I got assigned to, the one I ended up picking that chose me, I should say, on the Pottermore website. So I got Hazelwood. They all are interactive. Like I said, it's $55. And it comes with a case, and they do offer stands to place your wand, but it just adds more money. So I was not going to do that because I wanted to needed enough money to have food and stuff. It comes with these maps. This is Diagon Alley on one side, and then on the other side it has Hogsmeade in the castle. Now, so you basically they tell you what it shows you the hand movements, and you point to, and there's on the ground there's these gold circle things on the ground that you stand on, and then you point and do the hand motions, the flick, the wrist movements, and then you say, of course, the spell. I am not good with that because I'm very I'm not just saying. I mean, I don't just mean I'm a klutz or anything. I mean, I'm really my coordination skills are not very good. They were affected whatever problems I had as a baby when I was born. So I was like, okay, I don't want to keep this is more for the kids. I mean, as an adult, you can still have fun doing it, of course, but I don't want to keep hog it up from the kids. So I ended up not doing it. So I ended up not. So, but maybe I'll get to go again Maybe I'll get to go again in a few years, if I can get the boys into Harry Potter. Maybe that'll be my excuse to go. But it's a nice box. But see, this is what I mean. This is what I was referring to earlier about that this sticks out when I put it in my bag, and because it doesn't have a zipper. So if you want to get a bag with zip, you might have better luck closing up if you get a backpack type bag. That might, that way, I think it might fit better in that kind of bag, and at least fit just right. There's the light on there. Said mine is Hazelwood, but yeah, my problem is I can't do the wrist movement, so, but I definitely like this bag, because I used to have a magic, actually, I think the kit was my sister's magic kit, and it had one of those cheap plastic that was black with the white, like a wand that illusionists use. So that's partly one of the reasons why I really wanted to get a wand. I was willing to spend $55. But anyway, so you might be able this. I don't know how much it will be online to get this, but you might want to check online if it's going to be any different price-wise. But, it's definitely still a very fun thing, and you can use it in the park, Now, of course, my grandma was like, why'd you spend that money? It's just a piece of wood. What benefits do you get? Are you going to wear it beyond this thing? It's no, it's just part of the... But to be fair, she's not, my grandma's not the type of grandmother who would get into that kind of stuff. So, okay, back to this. So I got this at 3 Broomsticks. It's just the plastic cup, but it has the My mom probably would have told me not to keep it. She probably would have told me to throw it away. But I got butterbeer. So it does. I ended up getting the butterbeer. There's the frozen kind, which Terry was recommended that too. But for me personally, I'm not big into the frozen drinks. So I got the regular butterbeer. And basically it's root beer. Which I actually remember that because when park first opened, we didn't go like the year it opened, but it had been open for only a year or two when we first went. I mean, there wasn't even a lot there, just the castle and stuff. So, we went. I remember going there. I think we did go to the Three Broomsticks and got butterbeer, or I got it and it was. I got it in like a. I think I want to say I got it in a souvenir mug. I think, but anyway, so I got this. The food was actually pretty good there. You know, it wasn't like traditional British food. Like, if you want more traditional British food, you might have better luck at going to, the Leaky Cauldron. That's more traditional British cuisine. Which we didn't go to that because, Terry wanted to get the butterbeer. Although, ironically, she ended up not being able to get butterbeer because it would just be, she wouldn't be able to afford it. So, she's not in the best. So she ended up not getting the butterbeer, but she did try some online. But like I said, she was told that the frozen butterbeer, but again, I'm not a fan of the frozen butterbeer. So this was probably the most expensive. Well, although, no, actually, no, this wasn't the most expensive because, I mean, the kids version, the kids extra large was cheaper but the adult size was like $60-something. It's like, if you're gonna spend, And then the last thing I ended up getting was, and I'll probably display that on I don't know, I might display that on my, I'm gonna put it on here, or I have that shelf over there with the movies on it. I also had to get a chocolate frog. I only got one. They did have a deal where if you get three, you can get three for $30. But I just got one. Wow, 160 calories. But I did end up getting this, and so hopefully I'll go there again when the boys are old enough. We'll go to that park. I wanted to get, I thought about getting it because Harrison his thing is trains. Every kid goes through the train thing, the train phase, and at least every little boy does. I don't know if any little girls go through the train phase, but every little boy does, and he gets into Thomas and stuff, which I'm thinking about it, thinking, oh, I remember those days. I remember, I used to love watching Shiny Time Station, but now it's just Thomas and Friends. They don't even have Shiny Time Station anymore, at least not the kind of live action that us 90s kids grew up with. It's all cartoon animation and stuff, or computer animation. But yeah, he's into that, and I almost wanted to get him a little mini Hogwarts Express train because, like I said, he really loves trains. But then, I texted my mom and asked her because when I want to get something for Harrison, I always clarify with my mom because then she can ask my sister if she wants to make sure, or so. But what I might do, I might look for that one online and get them the little train for Christmas. And then I feel like I also need to get Daniel a little something too for Christmas. I get them something from, but I'm secretly hoping to, if I plant enough seeds, they'll get into Harry Potter. That's my little plan. But anyway, so I didn't buy that, but the last thing I bought was the chocolate frog. And like I said, they had the deal of you get 3 for $30. So I think it was $12 to get it. So I ended up getting one, but I ended up getting one because I didn't want to spend all my money at the park. I wanted to have some money left over. So I ended up just getting the one chocolate frog. And then, like I said, hopefully I'll get to go again at some point in my lifetime. I hope. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so here's a little bit more of suggestions. Okay, so like I said, buy the stuff. You might want to buy things like wands or the Hogwarts school robes. You might want to buy those online if you want to get those, because they're a lot cheaper online. And also, get the fast pass, express pass, whatever it's called, because like one of the many reasons why we only got 2 rides in, not just the timing, but I guess this also has to do with timing too. We were in the castle ride, which is a ride I had been on before when I came here with my parents, my sister and brother-in-law, and that was we were in line for 2 hours going through the castle until we got to the actual ride part. Now, what I really do appreciate is that when you go through these rides and you're in line for a long time, particularly at Harry in the Wizarding World, they have like things to look at. They are really good at they design the park really well with like very accurate detail and very, very thorough, where you have a lot to look at. In some of these rides, of course, you have like inside the castle, they have the talking pictures, having conversations, like especially the 4 Hogwarts house people talking and stuff. Like and they had where there was a little explanation of what, you know how there's like in a lot of rides like that, they have a story, that have a mission you have to go on or something. So they have Dumbledore, Harry, Ron, and Hermione are explaining things of what you're gonna do, what they intend. And in this case, in the castle ride, it was basically they wanted to get you out of having to go to Binns' class, because he's the teacher, he's the history professor, who's really boring, and that they're like, we figured you would rather go to a Quidditch match. So it's basically Hermione casts a spell so you can fly, and they will escort you to the Quidditch pitch. But you end up getting detoured, and you end up going all through the castle and into the Forbidden Forest, which is really cool. But that was a 2 hours long in line. And then the last thing, and like I said, the getting on the train is a bit long too, although they have a guy on the loudspeaker talking as if you really are at a train station, which is really cool. And here's the other thing. So the other thing that's to do with timing is that, so the new Hagrid's motorbike ride was full to capacity when we went on Friday. So we ended up not being able to ride the ride, which was really disappointing. I mean, I still had fun and everything. I'm glad the 2 rides I did get to go on. So be careful about that. In fact, you might want to try to do Harry Potter try to do 2 days of Harry Potter. If you can, if you have the time and and then like I said, the only reason we didn't, the Hippogriff ride was fine and everything, but it was, and we could have easily got to it because it was right next door to the castle ride. But it was late, and we had to get something to eat because we weren't going to get dinner when we got back to the room. So, although I feel like though, it's expensive. It is I imagine it's kind of nice when you have when you stay at a resort that's like right next door. I mean, although where we were, my grandma has a timeshare, we were doing the Westgate timeshare. It wasn't that far, but it's still, it's still a good distance. So, you still have to drive there. So, but it's not that far. But like I said, I imagine it's kind of nice when you're in one of the resorts that's right at the park. But I imagine they're pretty close. But anyway, there was one more thing I wanted to say. I can't remember. We did the 3 broomsticks. Leaky Cauldron was really fun. I mean, Leaky Cauldron, I would have liked to do that one, but it's basically I guess we could have done like Leaky Cauldron for lunch and then the other park for dinner. But the 3 broomsticks for dinner. But then I I think we weren't like hungry at the time, so we ended up going to the ice cream parlor. I can't remember. I can't never pronounce what the ice cream parlor is called, but we ended up going to that, and we got a sundae, which that's not terrible, the prices, but it's still, I mean, considering everything else, it's still pricey. And you can either get it in a waffle cone, or you can get the souvenir cup. And we ended up getting the souvenir cup, and just to save money, I ended up asking if we could split it. Although I feel really bad because I said I was a little sick. I was getting over being sick, and I still am. And I felt, she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to get sick or not." So I feel kind of bad. I shouldn't have been pushy about it, but I was also being like cheap and didn't want to spend any more money. So we got 2 different spoons, to be fair. But anyway, so we ended up getting ice cream, so that was kind of our lunch. So like I said, just be warned that the lines are really long, and that rides like Hogwarts Motorbike are new, so there's always a chance you might miss out on getting on that ride. So I guess that's it. So I showed you all I got, and then I told you the little things I've learned. And that's it. So I will talk to you guys later. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you're enjoying your reading. Bye.